This is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous, good looking friends. Why is it anytime Meghan Markle pulls a publicity stunt, because this is exactly what this was, it never makes any kind of sense, stemming from her outfit choices to the people that she associates with and the things that she says? I truly do feel like this is a setup and a trap. So the rumor that's running around right now is that Meghan gatecrashed this gala and wasn't actually invited, but showed up only to take pictures. On the surface, yeah, that definitely is a possibility. But when you look at all the various details, there has to be more to this story. And this is what we're here to find out. I think it's really stupid of people to continue to keep reading these headlines and believing that what is being pushed out, even though Meghan keeps running these disinformation campaigns to not only bait everybody, which is what she's been doing, but also to prove her point on why social media and the internet needs to be censored. Everyone is falling for these stupid games that she keeps playing. So when you look at these blind items, you have to take it with a grain of salt, because there's a high probability and possibility that it's Meghan and Meghan's team who are doing some of these submissions. Now, I do think that there's a high probability that it's Meghan who seeded this distortion of her gatecrashing this event. And whether it be somebody whispering it in the ear of somebody who then whispered it into the ear of somebody in this community, the intended goal obviously was to keep her in the headlines, but also to have these conflicting narratives to not only confuse the audience, but then also create this division again. This feeds into how mis and disinformation spreads, because what we're seeing in Hello Magazine and People Magazine and even the Children's Hospital LA all saying that Meghan was invited as a special guest by the CEO, Paul Viviano, is because in the peripherals you see, if you look closer, a heavy level of orchestration walking this green carpet for optics. If you're gatecrashing a party, you're not bringing a full entourage of people with you. And on top of it, your PR person is orchestrating the photographs on this step and repeat. It's not Meghan who dragged Kelly on to have these photos with her. It was actually Ashley who did it. So there is a level of cooperation, whether it be with Kelly as well as the CEO of this hospital. But Meghan was there for a purpose. You can see here, Kelly is standing in the wings waiting to be called by Ashley. She's asked something by this security guy and she's like, no, I'll wait. And then you see Ashley call her over to specifically stand with Meghan. At the same time, Ashley is telling Meghan something, and Meghan looks over, and I'm assuming she's telling her that she should go pose with Paul Viviano. Meghan doesn't look too pleased or happy that she has to do that. And through that fake grin of hers, Meghan sighs and's like, okay. And then she gets into taking her photos. And the whole way through, Ashley is choreographing all of this. I think we all know and can tell that the friendship with Meghan and Kelly is completely fake. In the Hello Magazine article today, it says here, Meghan attended the event solo and was joined by a string of famous faces, including her friend of over 10 years, Kelly McKee. Okay, Meghan, if she's such a dear friend, why was she not invited to your wedding? So there's Ashley calling Kelly over now. So obviously there was some sort of cooperation from Kelly's standpoint on how this was all going to go down. Now, it doesn't appear that Meghan was thinking about posing with Kelly, but it was Ashley who was like, go get pictures with Kelly. Kelly was waiting in the wings for Ashley's signal. Now, why she didn't want to walk this carpet by herself is, anybody's guess. When you watch Kelly's body language, it's very cold. She doesn't look at Meghan. In fact, she's like leaning away from her and not allowing Meghan to be the one to lead off this carpet. Kelly's smile looks very forced and Meghan looks very uncomfortable. They don't look like they've been friends for over 10 years. And then you have Ashley in the wings there watching the interaction, making sure that the optics look good, and this is what we want the world to think and believe. And it's interesting, when they exit off this carpet, Kelly doesn't even look at Meghan, and Ashley follows Kelly out. She doesn't wait for Meghan. So you can see here, why is Ashley following Kelly out and putting her hand on her back? I don't know, is Kelly also a client of Ashley and thinking that putting her with Meghan Markle is going to help her brand? Even here in this little interaction with Sunshine Sachs, Kelly's not paying Meghan any attention. If she really gay crashed this party, they would not be taking photos with her. So something tells me that this was for something that Kelly had to do. And it looks like she's regretting being associated with Megan. Something definitely was going on with Kelly and Ashley. So could it have been PR for Kelly? Maybe. Now, here is my theory with what's going on here. Megan showed up looking like a hot mess on purpose, wearing this ugly looking dress and walking the red carpet acting like a fool. Megan knows very well that people are going to talk about how ugly and inappropriate this dress was for the gala, as well as people are going to comment on how sickly and emaciated she looks. And it's all fair criticism. However, I do fear that we are walking into a trap with this woman because everything that Megan does is intentional and it's deliberate. And the one thing that she and her husband have been consistent with is with censorship and pushing for regulation on free speech. So when I look at this publicity stunt and how orchestrated and choreographed it was, and this nonsensical, bizarre behavior seated in with this idea that she gay crashed, I truly believe she wants us to say that she's mental, that she's psychotic, that she's crazy. She wants us to make fun of her, right? She already looks sickly. So the next headline, I'm sure, that's in the works here is breaking news, dangerously thin Meghan Markle collapses in the parking lot. Her bodyguard rushes her to the hospital. And of course, Backgrid will be there to capture it, as well as TMZ to report it. Thus beginning a whole new disinformation campaign targeting, you guessed it, people on social media. We're going to be the ones to blame for her mental and physical health decline. Even though she deserves it, because she is the one purposely causing it, you can bet that this will be the next attack. Another made-up story by Meghan Markle is coming. She is the boy that has cried wolf too many times, so don't fall for it. I want to go ahead and shift our attention real quick to this charity and the CEO, Paul Viviano. Anything that Meghan touches, I don't trust, and this guy is no different. Back in 2015, Paul Viviano had abruptly left the University of California, San Diego as its chief executive officer and vice chancellor for UC San Diego Health Sciences. It appears that there had been some scandal that had rocked this entity here where the media had reported charges of mismanagement. It came to light in March of 2013 that Michael Stephen Goldman, who was an ex-chief executive of the Cancer Institute, was busted for alleged unlawful sexual activity transporting child pornography and coercion and enticement. Oh, this gets worse. Then in June of 2013, a university audit released by the school in response to a request made under the state's Public Records Act reported that the total operating loss for the Cancer Institute from July 2012 through March 2013 had been $9.9 million. And if that wasn't bad enough, then a year later, in August of 2014, another university audit criticized the handling and accounting of body parts and other human specimens used by the school in research and treatment. And you can go ahead and draw your own conclusions on that one, but being that we know of the sick people out in Hollywood and what they've been doing to not only children, you never know. Now this guy decides to abruptly leave and go over to the Children's Hospital LA. And yeah, he's also found in a little bit of controversy there as well. Paul Viviano went ahead and publicly thanked Amber Heard for her tremendous gift in a media statement saying it would support life-saving treatments and cures for critically ill children. That money, we know, was never given. Even though Amber Heard did not give this money, in 2017, they went ahead and put Amber Heard's name in the honor roll of donors under the category $1 million to $5 million. If you notice, next to Amber Heard's name is Ron Burkle. Another name that is surprising in this donation category is Kaylee Thomas Morgan. Another big contributor is the Walt Disney Foundation. We also have the Pritzker Foster Care Initiative. I'm sure if we look through this list, we'll find a lot of donors who have spent some time on that island, if you know what I mean. So this children's hospital is an actual nonprofit. And as you can see, they're not struggling for money. Not only do they get government funds from the state, but they have thousands of wealthy donors who are giving money into this so-called charity. This charity is set up exactly how all these other charities are set up, designed to somehow park money and make money off of people who are suffering. The thing that's crazy, though, is when you look at the key employees or the executives, they're paying themselves some fat compensation. Like Paul, who's the CEO, is getting like 2.3 million a year. Alexandra Carter is like 1.3 million as the senior vice president chief development officer. Moving into like some of the other BS roles that we have, such as chief diversity officer, making almost $400,000 a year. And this is all like taxpayer money or public donations or foundation donations that these people are putting in their pocket. Now, I know at the end of the day, it's still a business, and everything that I've seen about this hospital is positive, and it seems like they do good work. But I can't help but be skeptical as a result of Meghan Markle being involved with this and knowing how dirty and shady Hollywood is, especially around children. That's what creeps me out about all of this. And considering that this is a charity that generates over $1 billion in revenue annually, I find it really sad that this fundraiser gala only managed to raise $5 million. I mean, that literally is covering the cost of 3 executives, Paul's and 2 others. So, when you look at how these Hollywood types like to make a big deal of things, this really is not so big of a deal when you look at the amount of money that was raised. These donors do have deep pockets, and, so does our government in giving money to the hospital. So, you almost wonder why even bother have a gala at all. Just saying. Make no mistake, folks, there's definitely more to the story than we're being told. And it was intentional for Meghan to show up at that gala looking like one who flew over the cuckoo's nest for a reason. The Biden regime has budgeted a lot of taxpayer money to throw away at mental health and bullshit programs. So I'm guessing this greedy little clout-chasing goblin has got her eye on that. And we're going to see a lot of focus and emphasis on this invisible shell parents network that has been set up to grab some of it. If you take a look at 3/4 of the way down on this page where it says provide grants to community mental health centers, what do you think Archwell Fugazi Public Charities Parents Network is going to look like? There's $2 billion being committed for that. All of these people are parasites taking taxpayer money and lining their pockets. Like, we have this devastation going on in North Carolina. Where is Humanity Crew? Now, I call them out because isn't mental health important during a crisis? But no, nowhere to be found to help the people of North Carolina. Here are just a couple little fun facts about this nonprofit. Humanity Crew co-founder Dr. S.M. Dowd was actually on the Me You Can't See, that mental health documentary series that Harry and Oprah did, remember? Then we also have Humanity Crew writing one domestic grant for $105,646 to Lemonada. That's the only grant that they wrote domestically. All the other money went overseas. Almost $4 million out into the ether, never to be seen again. This is what's going on with our money, folks, and this is why there's such an effort to suppress people's speech. Can't really talk a lot about that because even that on this platform gets suppressed. I find it just so gross looking at these people in Hollywood now because they all know what is going on and they're all silent, and none of them want to stand up and speak up about helping these children. They know that it's happening, but there's too much money to be made from that. I don't think I can say any more because we know how sensitive YouTube is. So we'll go ahead and switch topics. Before I go, I want to share with you this photo that I came across with Kelly and Abigail Spencer. I don't think Kelly is Meghan's friend. Kelly is Abigail Spencer's friend. And I believe that Meghan is using Kelly for PR purposes only because Kelly and Abigail Spencer hang out. In fact, Abigail Spencer was at that tennis match physically there, as opposed to Megan photoshopping herself in there. So I don't really know why Kelly is going along with helping Megan in trying to, I don't know, paint her as this Mother Teresa saint humanitarian. I don't know. There's something, though, going on that just seems really off. And looking at this photo of Abigail Spencer, she looks like she's turning into the Joker at this moment. So I'm just going to end this video because it is creepy. That's just my opinion and thoughts. But what do you guys think? Do you agree with me, or do you think that Megan is literally off the rails and there's nothing else to it? Definitely leave your thoughts below. As always, I will be back with more content, but until then, please be safe and I will talk to you later. Bye!
I was such a fraud.